Hey Sharp Shots, this is Kirsten Weiss, and I know most of you do a lot of shooting and you enjoy shooting. That's why you're here. But I also discovered that some of you have never shot at all, which I find kind of curious because it must be so frustrating watching shooting but not actually being able to shoot. And there's probably many reasons why you haven't tried yet. Maybe you're intimidated. You may just not know what to expect, but there's some reason why you're here. I wanted to do a video for you. It's about knowing what to expect before you shoot a gun, but it's also a video for the people who already know how to shoot but want to share shooting with others. A lot of times it's a lot easier to share with somebody else when it's coming from someone else. Maybe you're friends and you don't want to teach your friend because you don't want to fight, or maybe you're a girlfriend and boyfriend or a husband and wife and you don't want to get in trouble because sometimes teaching things can cause fights. Secret's safe with me. I'm going to specifically concentrate on bolt action rifle because I really believe that is one of the best things to start with. I'm going to show you how to operate it. I'm going to show you what happens when you shoot it. Then you can go to the range. Before we start, we got to cover some basics. Safety. I'm going to list the 4 basic rules of safety. The biggest thing that you have to remember is always point the gun in a safe direction. I did a video on this, but that is the most important rule that you have to remember. The other important thing is keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire a shot. That's just basic gun safety. If you are a beginner, it's a really good idea to have a buddy system. So either bring somebody that is more experienced with you to the range or get involved with a club because there's a lot of people that are willing to help. And worst comes to worst, if you don't have anyone to go with, go to a public range day. Shooters really want to help each other, and range officers especially will be willing to point you in the right direction and get you the help that you need. It's okay to not know. We all started there. It's totally fine. A lot of the best shooters are still learning. In fact, if you think you're not learning, that's when you need to learn more. By the way, if I missed something that you think is important, or if you want to add something, put it in the comments. I really want this to be interactive. This isn't just me talking and telling you what to do. This is us helping everybody else. Bolt action rifles are some of my favorite guns to shoot, and I'm glad we're starting with this one because this is my grandfather's 30-06, the gun that I first learned to shoot on as well. So it's pretty special to my heart, and I'm glad that I can share this with you. This is the butt end of the gun, the butt plate, the butt stock. This is the bolt, and right near the bolt is often the safety. On this particular gun, you push the safety up and you see a red dot. That means it's ready to fire. You pull it back and you cover that red dot, and that means it's safe to carry around. It's on safety. Keep the safety on when you're not firing the gun. Every gun is a little bit different, so consult the owner's manual before you operate the safety. This is the trigger. You want to keep your finger out of the trigger guard, which is this piece right here, until you're ready to fire a shot. This tube right on top is the scope. A lot of different guns have a lot of different optics. Usually when there's a tube, it's a scope and it's a magnified optic. You'll see a magnified sight picture when you look through. When it doesn't have this on it and it just looks like this piece right here on the back and on the front, that means it's open sights. You just look through and you line up your target. That's a topic for another video. Just make sure you ask your friends how to best use whatever optic they have on the gun. I'm sure they'll help you out. Or read the manual. One of those two. This is the barrel, and this at the end of the barrel is called the crown. But you don't have to know what the components are called to be able to shoot it well. To operate the gun, you load it right here into the chamber where the hole is. Take your bolt, slide it in, pull this handle down, and you lock it. When you're ready to shoot, you take your finger and you go into the trigger guard, you press the trigger. It's a really good idea to dry fire if you're uncomfortable about shooting this. And dry firing is basically a ghost shot. There's nothing in the chamber. It's not loaded with an actual bullet. It gives you a little bit of practice before you take the shot, especially if you have any nerves. After you take the shot, grab the bolt handle once more, lift up on it. Once you hear that click, you just pull back and the shot is ejected. One of the biggest things that people worry about is recoil. It's very intimidating and very scary and very, very simple. All you have to do is lean into the gun. I'm going to illustrate this to you by shooting a 30-06. It's kind of a mid-grade rifle. Something bigger would be a 338, something smaller would be a 22. And I highly recommend starting on a 22 because you really can't feel the recoil at all. But the most important thing is you must seat the gun in your shoulder. And what that means is you must lean into the gun and the gun must be pressed against your shoulder like this. And as long as you kind of pull back a little bit, lean your shoulder into the gun, you shouldn't feel much recoil. Yes, it's going to push your shoulder back, it's going to push your body back, and you're just going to go with it. But if you have the butt plate out like this, when that goes off, it's going to go wham, like someone's punching you. You don't want that. The more fearful you are of recoil, the more you gotta lean into it, just like life. The more you're afraid of something, you just gotta go after it. I use this exact technique when I shoot 50 cals, because let me tell you, that is the most intimidating gun to shoot as far as recoil goes. And so I lean my entire body into it, and I have not had a problem yet. So if I can handle a 50 caliber, you can handle a 30-06 or even a 22 for sure. Now I'm gonna demonstrate this for you in a live shot. All right, we're losing the light, but I wanted to take a live shot. Got my eye protection and also my ear protection, which are essentials if you happen to like your vision and your hearing, which I like both. So I got us a bullet. We're gonna load this up. It's gonna look a lot more violent on camera than it actually is because I'm shooting on a shaky table. Eject that shell. Oh, come on. Okay, it's not ejecting, but it's supposed to go like this. And there you have it. It's really that simple. Guns are not complicated. It just seems like they are. Be sure to check the description and also my playlist to see some of these topics covered in more depth. But for now, you'll know before you go, so go out and give it a shot.